So we're looking at where every club would finish if it was like a seven-a-side team. And in 20th, I've gone with Aston Villa. Alright, Villa fans, you tell me why you personally think that you'd stay up and not finish more with a seven-a-side. Considering the fact they're struggling right now with 11 people on the pitch. 7 people, honestly. Villa, they'd just be finishing 20th. And I'm sorry, it's just obvious. 19th, Brentford. Alright, here we go. Brentford. Really think you'll stay up? Alright, you got David Raya, Ivan Toney, Brian and Bemo, Christian Eriksen on your side. But wait a minute. Brentford, let's be reasonable right now. You need the rest of your squad to perform. Your attack would be good, but you've probably conceded the most goals in the league. I'm just being honest here, like you just concede so many goals that it would just be unreal. You finish 19th. Other than that, you'd be the second best team for goals probably, because if you can't defend, you can't really score goals. If that makes any sense. Not really. 18th, Burnley. Alright, Burnley. I've been quite nice to you. I could have beat you 20th. I could have beat you in not even in this. Burnley, you go down. Listen, Burnley, they're on fire at the moment because they're in a relegation battle. Like, don't call them good. Like, they're in a relegation battle. They're fine. It's always Burnley, as they say. Burnley, you'd be going down in the side table. Listen, you've got talent, but the midfield and defence is getting on. And most of them are like over the age of 30. Honestly, you'd be relegated. I'm not even joking. Crystal Palace 17. Alright, let's be fair. This one's probably going to get the most hate. Well, there's more of that, but Crystal Palace. No offence to you, you're a good team, but I think with a 7 aside, I can just see Palace not gluing together as a team. I can actually see them falling to bits a little bit. And that could be a worrying sign. I mean, sometimes you need 11 players on the pitch just to put a plan together. And I really can't see Patrick Vieira being able to... you'd stay up, like, by quite a bit. You're on 17th, but a few more points than Burnley. I just can't see a 7-a-side Crystal Palace being really good. I really can't. And the 16th, this one's going to get a lot of hate. Manchester City in 16th. Alright then. Go on then, challenge it. I dare you. Alright, so you're telling me if you had a set team of 7 featuring Ederson, John Stones, Ruben Dias, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Gabriel Jesus, you'd be okay. Alright, I'll take your word for it. You're finishing 16th. I'm sorry, you need your whole team to dive and get penalties. Right, the 7 aside, honestly, you're not going to get as many penalties. You'd be 16th in the league. You're going to struggle. You'll be alright, though. And in 15th, Brighton. Well, it's pretty much similar to... Well, they've had a good season this season. But in the 7 aside world, really... So if I took away 4 players from the Brighton squad, I think they'd slip down to where Villa actually are now in 15th. Again, it's a bit like Crystal Palace. I can see them grinding out loads of good results, but I can't see them being able to stick as a team. Like the tactics, I can't see them working. I'm sorry, Brighton 15th, but then Brighton fans, you're mostly used to mid-table. But I feel bad for Brighton beating them 15th. But I mean, what can you? 14th Leeds, so a 7-a-side Leeds United team. Well, how would that look? What would the likes of Millier in goal with Patrick Schick at centre back, with Junior Verpro and Jack Harrison always injured, Patrick Bamford? Well, that sounds about as exciting as nothing. But to be honest, I'm going to go Leeds United. They're just going to finish mid-table 14th. If it was 7-a-side, I mean, they'd probably be better, to be fair, because they like plenty of other teams in this list. It's just down to some players that make mistakes. And another team that does that, 13th, Leicester City. A 7-a-side Leicester City. Not sure. I don't know, because you've got St Michael in goal, but you've also got Soil 2 at the back, Fofana at the back. You've got a decent midfield with Ndidi and Tielemans up front. You've got Vardy and whatnot. I don't know, it's an aging squad, so I'd say 13th. A 7-a-side squad of Leicester, it just doesn't sound as exciting as what Leicester actually are. I mean, I would say Leicester are actually quite overrated. I ain't gonna lie. And in 12th, but Newcastle United. Luck. If I didn't have their financial takeover, which, excuse me, can get this right. And Magpies, which are renowned for bad luck. Newcastle got the biggest luck in the world. And got bought by the richest owners in the world. How's that work? Which makes no sense, but because they've now got players that they shouldn't even be allowed to have, they are now 12th. I mean, a 7-a-side Newcastle team, that's really exciting, isn't it? Yeah. And 11th, I've put Norwich. The one most people have been waiting for, Norwich City, I've put them 11th. Well, let's be fair, their team is actually okay, but it's just some individuals, like their defence and Angus Gunn and whoever else plays for Norwich these days, that let them down. I mean, imagine a 7-a-side Norwich team. I reckon they'd stay up, you know. You've got to forget there's like 4 players on that pitch that probably would just fluff up every single game or just not contribute. I reckon Norwich would just flourish under the new system. So 11th for them. And another team that's more lucky than anyone that's not caught COVID yet, which not a lot of people have. West Ham United. Reason I've gone for them is because it's West Ham, for Christ's sake. Come on. Just look at the team. They're just full of lucky players like Jared Bowen and Seb Benrahma. Luck. Oh my god. Cry me a river for a 4-leaf clover. Yeah, of course they're going to finish 10th, but they won't finish any higher than that. They'll just be stuck in 10th like a sad, demented beaver. Honestly, West Ham. 9th, Watford. Alright, this is another one. Watford would be fine if they didn't have a few individuals that made stupid mistakes. Like, honestly, let's be actually fair. 9 out of 10 mistakes probably come from the Watford midfield and defence. They're not the best team in the world. I reckon they finished 9th with the likes of Emil Dennis and Joshua King up front. 9th. Currently, where Wolves are in the actual league, 8th. Oh, sorry, Club de Portugal. Club de Portugal, obviously, would finish 8th. Let's be fair, there's not much to say. Just the same, you're just losing out on a bit of pace in your midfield. And maybe a few wingers, I don't know. 7th, Spurs. Yep, Spurs, I'm sorry, you'd finish 7th. I'm not sure a 7-team formation would work for Tottenham. I mean, you could keep Kane, Kulusevski and Son in. But then you've only got 4 options, plus you've got to have a goalkeeper. And who else are you going to put in there? What, Joe Rodon? I mean, don't forget, if you're putting them 3 up front, it's a little bit difficult to field the other team. And a lot of teams would probably have that problem. But if you've got Kane, Son and Kulusevski up front, you've got no one else. And I mean, they still finished 7th. And 6th, Southampton. Really? Come on. Let's be real with Southampton. Bit underrated, bit overrated, bit both. I think they were better in 2020 and early 2021 than they were now. Well, they are now. But I'd say they would finish 6th because if you have a team that, again, like Watford, it's just a few players that don't contribute, and I reckon the 7-a-side team would really suit the Saints. And I think it would really work. 5th, Everton. Again, it's the same thing. It would really suit them because you've got Pickford in goal. And you could have Yerry Mina or Michael Keane in defence, and then you could have anyone you wanted in midfield like Dele Alli, Donny van der Beek. You could have Richarlison, Demarai Gray. Up front you could have Dominic Calvert-Lewin when he's fit again. Everton have got a variety of talent that just isn't very good. But when the team will come together, that is a very good team. I'm not going to lie on that one. That is a very good team, so I'm going to go 5th for Everton. And in 4th, Chelsea. Chelsea. Oh yeah, now I remember who they are. Yeah, 5 stars. Seriously, because they won a Champions League. How stupid is that? Alright, let's be fair. They're doing well-ish. They're not amazing-ish. They're okay. Listen, I would just put them 4th. I think a 7-a-side team would finish off better than an 11-a-side Chelsea team. I mean, they're 3rd, yes, but I think they'd be more consistent and they'd get a lot more points and it'd be a lot more, like, competitive now, because we're going into 3rd place, which is Arsenal. Another team that I don't really hate, and I could do West Ham and Newcastle. I don't really mind Arsenal that all. But the problem is, I don't mean putting them 2nd because it's the rest of their team that lets them down. I want to say wouldn't deserve to finish 3rd. They get like loads of penalties. And the thing is, you've got Saka, you've got Nketiah, you've got Lacazette, you've got Smith Rowe, Xhaka, red card. Honestly, like, it's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird squad. I mean, I'm giving them 3rd, but they probably wouldn't deserve it. 2nd, Liverpool. Well, you know who's going to be 1st, and I'll explain why. So, Liverpool. Well, with a 7-a-side squad, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip, they're all vital people in defence. Midfield's important, Thiago, Henderson, Fabinho. Up front you've got Salah, Mane and Firmino. Problem is you can't all with Jota, or you cannot field all of them. And I don't know how the formation would work, but I don't think it would. For Liverpool. And top, up at Manchester United. Yep, up at Man U top. Here's why. So, Manchester United, right, it's not fair to say they're a bad team at the moment, alright? But it's unfair for them to say, look, picture this lineup. In goal, you got David De Gea. In defence, you got Maguire. Got Phil Jones. Okay, that sounds less convincing. Victor Lindelof, you can play at the back. And in midfield, you got Bruno Fernandes, Fred, and that other guy that no one knows. Then up front, you got Sancho, Ronaldo, and the striker that no one knows about. You've got a good squad there, and I reckon they finish 1st because they can't cope with 11 men on the pitch. Like, they just keep blaming each other. It's a complete mess. So I'm betting them 1st.